how do we get all these different groups to truly understand, and even beyond communicators, the content that your traditional communicator is producing with game notes and press releases and biographical data, et cetera. How do we marry that with the creative, doing infographics, doing videos? And beyond that, how do we work with our MMR reps and our external folks to then ultimately monetize that? Which again, all of that is going to bring value back to the athletic department.
When you think about communications, what are the top challenges that you're finding right now?
I think there's a couple that come to mind. Number one, and I've seen this again kind of throughout my time, there's always something new in terms of a new technology to be adopted, to learn, to understand. When I first got started, it was, having to kind of run a website and figure that piece out. Later on, it was then how do we do video streaming and live streaming? Then ultimately later on, now it's social media. We're in this age of AI. So I think it's just a kind of a nonstop changing dynamic technology wise. I think, there's concerns that I think the board and the staff and I share with, what will happen staffing wise as the health settlement and, kind of the highest level kicks in and what does that do to maybe some of our members or some of our institutions. And then the other one, Trip, which is probably not exclusive to communicators, but I think industry wide, is kind of the churn and the burnout, right? We know that this is kind of nowadays a 24/7, 365. There's nights, there's weekends, there's travel. You're kind of on the clock with cell phones and technology. At times it can be really, really hard to get away from things and unplug. So, those are, seeing a lot of really talented, hardworking, good people that for one reason or another leave the industry. Right. And how do we maybe kind of stem the tide in that direction?